I say, today's updates are absolutely insane. We're talking about his legal team aggressively pushing back in court, his son making a shocking decision to leave the United States, fresh allegations surfacing while Diddy is already locked up, the sale of his private jet, President Trump completely shutting him down, and a horrifying incident that reportedly took place inside his prison cell. And to top it all off, new photos have now surfaced online. But here's the thing, some of these updates could actually impact how long Diddy remains behind bars. So stay with me, because you're definitely going to want to hear all of this. Now, if you're new here or just need a quick recap, let me catch you up real fast. As we all know by now, Diddy is currently serving a federal prison sentence of more than 50 months, which breaks down to just over 4 years. I'm not going to dive deep into what he was convicted of or who he is, because most of you already know that part. So instead, let's address the biggest question right away. I've had a lot of people ask me about pardons. Puff Daddy asked me for a pardon. So here's where things stand. Diddy's defense team has been loudly claiming that his sentence is far too severe. They argue that he's being punished way beyond what his actual conviction should warrant. Meanwhile, prosecutors are standing firm. They believe every single day of that sentence is justified. That's the current battlefield. Let's start with the courtroom drama. Diddy's attorneys are not backing down. They're fighting like everything is on the line, because honestly, his freedom is. Back in August and September of last year, prosecutors came out swinging, insisting that Diddy does not deserve a new trial. His legal team had pushed hard for a retrial, basically asking the court to start the entire process over again. But prosecutors made it very clear, Diddy was found guilty through a fair process, and now he has to face the consequences. They argued that Sean Combs wants to challenge the law itself, claiming it's flawed. But prosecutors responded by saying that argument should have been made before the trial even began. They pointed out that while Diddy was acquitted on the most serious charges, he was still convicted on transportation-related prostitution charges. According to them, there was overwhelming evidence presented, including testimony about freak-offs, hotel encounters, and male escorts being transported across different locations for sex involving his girlfriends, Cassie Ventura, and a woman identified as Jane. Prosecutors maintain that this evidence was more than enough to secure a conviction. Diddy's attorneys, on the other hand, argue that he was not acting as a pimp. They say he didn't profit from any of this and that the law was never intended to apply in situations like this. They claim Diddy was a participant, not an organizer, and that his actions were driven by voyeurism rather than exploitation. They argue the judge now has to consider whether transportation for prostitution requires an intent to profit. Prosecutors strongly disagree, saying the law does not require someone to be a pimp in order to be convicted, and that the time to argue this has already passed. But here's where things take a major turn. Diddy's legal team is now asking for his immediate release from prison. Yes, you heard that correctly. They're calling his 50-month sentence outrageously excessive. They want the judge to overturn his conviction entirely on the prostitution-related charges. And if that doesn't happen, they're pushing for a significant reduction in his sentence. Their key argument is that the judge allowed evidence from charges Diddy wasn't even convicted of to influence the sentence. They also pointed out that defendants convicted of similar offenses usually receive sentences under 15 months even in cases involving coercion, which the jury didn't find in Diddy's case. Reports confirm that Diddy's legal team filed an 84-page motion asking a federal appeals court to either release him immediately, order a new sentencing, or acquit him entirely. While he was acquitted of racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking charges, the judge still cited testimony from former girlfriends during sentencing. His attorneys argue this amounted to punishment for crimes the jury rejected. As of now, Diddy remains incarcerated. With a projected release date sometime in early 2028, the appeals court hasn't heard arguments yet, but it's clear his legal team is throwing every possible strategy at the wall. While all of this legal chaos is unfolding, Diddy's family is facing its own drama. His son, King Combs, recently broke his silence, and what he revealed shocked a lot of people. He announced plans to relocate the entire Combs family away from the United States. And where are they going? Africa. He specifically mentioned Nigeria, Ghana, and South Africa, saying he's been feeling intense pressure and frustration due to everything happening. He admitted he's angry and fed up, but also said he's always wanted to spend time in Africa. According to him, living conditions are better, housing is safer, and life feels more peaceful there. King Combs openly blamed 50 Cent for fueling public hatred toward their family, specifically calling out the Netflix documentary that exposed allegations against his father. He described the documentary as disturbing and damaging, saying it deeply affected their lives. This shows just how much damage has been done. The Combs name, once associated with power and success, now carries so much negativity that his own son feels forced to leave the country. From luxury mansions and private jets to planning an exit from America. That's a massive fall from grace. And just when you think things can't get worse, more allegations surfaced. A man named Jonathan Hay from Florida recently contacted law enforcement with serious sexual assault allegations. The LAPD is now actively investigating the case. Hay identified himself publicly before removing his posts. Diddy's representatives have not responded to requests for comment. Legal experts say this could complicate civil proceedings, as law enforcement involvement brings far more investigative power than a private lawsuit. Adding to the chaos, C.J. Wallace, the son of Notorious B.I.G., was named in the allegations and quickly filed a countersuit, calling the claims a calculated smear campaign. The alleged incident reportedly occurred in 2021, but only now is coming to light. With Diddy already serving a federal sentence, many of these civil cases are essentially stuck in limbo. Now let's talk money. Diddy has reportedly sold his private jet, a Gulfstream G550, to an anonymous buyer for somewhere between $20 and $30 million. This wasn't a casual decision. Sources say it was done out of necessity to cover mounting legal fees. Not only did he lose a luxury asset, but he also lost an income stream, as the jet was frequently rented out for profit. On top of that, reports claim Diddy has placed his children on strict financial allowances, cutting off their access to unlimited funds. That alone speaks volumes about his financial situation. And in a final attempt to escape this nightmare, Diddy reportedly requested a presidential pardon from Donald Trump. Trump publicly stated that while he would review the facts, he ultimately declined to commute Diddy's sentence. The request was flat out rejected. And finally, the most terrifying moment of all, Diddy revealed that while being held at MDC Brooklyn, another inmate allegedly held a knife to his throat while he was sleeping. Details remain unclear, but the threat was real. This incident was reportedly shared with the judge in hopes of leniency, but it didn't change the outcome. This is Diddy's new reality. No mansions, no security teams, just survival. Every day inside is unpredictable, and every night carries danger. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think his appeal will work? Will his family actually move to Africa? And do you believe more allegations are coming? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode.